तो आदरणीय एमडी सर, मेरे एमडी परिवार के सभी साथियों जो यहाँ पे फिजिकली प्रेजेंट हैं और जो हमारे सर्किल हेड्स हैं वर्चुअली जुड़े हुए हैं। लास्ट 2 months of the current financial year, most crucial period for all of us, and requirement utilize this time fully towards the March 23 targets. And when we are talking of March 23 targets, one of the points when we were discussing the zone, is we should not be lagging in any parameter while achieving the target, so that all of us hold our head high and we think in terms of not only maintaining our position as the second largest bank of the country, the pride that we have, but also start thinking in terms of giving a real run for the money for the largest bank in the country. We all have that potential in us, and we all, once are clear, work together, वो सुबह कभी तो आएगी when we will achieve it. Every journey of 1,000 miles, there's a saying, starts with one simple step. And when I say this, a very fundamental point, happiness, peace, tranquility. Since I am dealing with the control divisions of the bank, I'll discuss certain aspects on that. And when I was using the word happiness, peace, tranquility, when I was talking of maintaining the second position, dreaming of the first position, the fundamental point for all of us, the business we are in, is essentially to maintain a good respect in society, a high stature for individual and collective, apart from the organizational perspective. And to maintain that, the concept of compliance, concept of being known as a compliant bank, concept of transparency, fairness in all our dealings become a very essential part for us to maintain our second position, for us to dream of achieving the first position. When I say this, doing that किसके हाथ में है? तो मुझे अपने एमडी सर एक स्टोरी सुनाते हैं, वही याद आ रही है, तो लेट मी रिपीट दैट। कि साधु जी थे, उनकी सारी वाणी सच होती थी, तो एक कोई बच्चे ने सोचा साधु जी से थोड़ा परीक्षा लेते हैं साधु जी की। तो उन्होंने हाथ में चिड़िया रख ली और सोचा, बताइए कि चिड़िया इज इट लाइव और इज इट डेड? अगर साधु बोलेंगे कि चिड़िया मरी हुई है तो उसे उड़ा देंगे, आपकी बात झुठला गई। और अगर चिड़िया साधु बोलेंगे कि जिंदा है तो उसे क्रश कर देंगे, देखो आपकी बात झुठला गई, तो मरी हुई है। सो द पॉइंट इज, किसके हाथ में है? हमारे हाथ में। साधु ने बोला चिड़िया की जान तुम्हारे हाथ में। सेम थिंग अप्लाइज टू अस। हम में से कई लोगों ने इस फोटोग्राफ को देखा हुआ है, एंड आई पर्पसली ब्रॉट इट अगेन। कई लोगों के लिए ये पहली बार फोटोग्राफ होगी कि what we want our bank to be, and underlying factor, which photograph do we prefer? If I prefer from my side the photograph which is on the right side, If I would like my bank to be neat, clean, tidy, my workings to be transparent, the right side photograph, moving from left to right, the center photograph says, हमारे हाथ में है. So, if we want our bank to be a happy place to work, किसके हाथ में है? हमारे हाथ में. And that brings me to a very simple point that we all talk in terms of control functions and related aspects that emanate from it. Staff accountability, take that as an example. Somehow, staff accountability has always carried a very negative connotation in the bank. So, the moment I use that word staff accountability, all of us feel a sense of tension, some element of negative perceptions. And I have zones here where the staff accountability figures are very, very high. So when you are keeping those staff accountability files pending, are you really doing service to the bank? Are you really protecting the interest of your staff members? Are you really sending a signal that I want my bank to be a compliant bank? The point is, if you are taking a decision fast, it could be exoneration, it could be certain lapses identified, and a disciplinary process to follow. Whichever way you decide, ultimately the expectation is you decide in a very objective, fair manner. But whichever way you decide, you have decided. By keeping the things pending, I have the names, but I'm restraining myself from taking the names. By keeping it pending, you are sending a very wrong signal. And when I'm emphasizing this, there is a concept of fairness. Fairness to the organization, fairness to the staff member. So as and when, as senior officers, as leaders, I'm taking that as an example and dwelling upon it. When you are taking a decision, one, timely, and you are taking a decision unbiased to the organization, unbiased to the staff, then and only then you are sending a signal that you would like your bank to be known to work in a manner where people can take decisions without fear or favor. Else, under the wrong notion of protecting your staff members, you are actually creating a photograph which is on my left. So, an organization which depicts the right photograph gets transformed to an organization which is on the left photograph. Do we want our bank to be like that? Do we want our bank to be like that? So please understand, as senior officers, as leaders of the organization, each and every element of your thought and action counts in ensuring that the picture on the right is maintained in the organization. And if you notice, I have talked of a fine line while taking a decision, fairness to the organization and fairness to the staff. And both are equally important. If somebody has done something wrong, the message should be very clear in the field. We will take action against you. Certainty of punishment. If somebody has done something, a fraud on my organization, if somebody is a perpetrator of a fraud in my organization, message should be crystal clear. Certainty of punishment. आप बचोगे नहीं, हम बचने नहीं देंगे. Certainty of punishment. And that certainty of punishment should be within given timelines. Timeliness of punishment. By keeping things pending, again I am restraining myself from the names, but definitely I'll be talking to those zonal heads why I should not initiate action against you. By keeping it pending, you are spoiling my organization. Timeliness of punishment. Take a decision, whichever way, in terms of fairness of punishment. अगर आपको as senior officer you have a full right to feel that whatever was done with X understanding in the interest of the organization, exonerate, no issues. No lapses found, no issues. You have full right to take that decision. If you feel the level of lapse is X, some element of punishment, take a decision. Or the extreme case, somebody has actually done a fraud, dismissal, fairness of punishment. And the point is, unless we are very crystal clear what we want our organization to be, these photographs determine your action or inaction in terms of the central photograph, which direction we would be moving. And that brings me to two examples of very recent frauds that have come to notice. You are all aware. Let me touch upon them. One was the issuance of fake BGs. The second was the Cori Code fraud. And in both cases, it is not a one-time event that took place. It is not that the fraud happened one single day. The worrisome factor for all of us is that fraud, both the frauds, have happened over a period of months and even years. Should it worry all of us as leaders of the organization? And that brings me again, when you say yes, mind my words, certainty of punishment, timeliness of punishment, fairness of punishment, fundamental aspects. The guys who are doing it, somehow they were very clear, वो बच जाएंगे क्योंकि कोई बैठा होगा जो उन्हें बचा लेगा. Can we accept that as a part of culture in the organization? Is it not a very dangerous signal in our organization that we are not on the right side of the photograph? Because a corollary part to it, those frauds continued over longer period and none of us, no staff member in the branch spoke up. Is it possible that somebody will keep on committing fraud in the organization and nobody else in the branch knows? All of us have enough experience, tell me. No whistleblower? Should it concern us as senior officers why there was no whistleblower? If it was a one-time event, it is a possibility that somebody did a fraud and was able to successfully commit. But if it is a series of events, should it not concern us? Should it not scare us? Compliant organization, transparent organization, fair organization. If that is our dream, should this not be a very clear signal of a larger issue? And these photographs are what are depicting them. A related point. Moving on, but a related point on that. One of the, in the fake BG issues, when we did a deeper study, one of the points that came to notice was that the message of a genuine BG, IFN 760 COV, to be sent through the CBS network. So when we studied our system, we found there was nothing wrong in our system. Our systems and procedures are all perfect. They are very much in place. But the person sidestepped and there was nobody in the branch to question. The person sidestepped, and while sidestepping, there is always, in for the 799 messages that he has sent, there is a maker and checker concept. It's not that the person did single hand actions. There is a, in there also, a maker checker concept, and even then my maker checker, nobody is able to understand or speak up. Another corollary point, I've specifically used the word IFN 760 COV. Why? Because the fraud now 2 months over, we are still following up, we are trying to implement, and I'm underlining, trying to implement that BG's only and only IFN 760 COV message should be sent. That is the only allowed mechanism for issuing a genuine bank guarantee. But even now, we are getting feedback because our leaders have not understood either or not understood the consequence either. Still, we are getting the concept of 799 being used, and which is putting all of us into a very, very difficult situation. In so many forums, MD sir and I, we have taken a stand against so many forums that our systems and procedures are correct. But even then, suddenly it comes as a shock to us that we are not serious about implementation of the processes. CRMD has initiated a daily monitoring mechanism. I would strongly and very clearly advise all my zonal heads and all my circle heads who are there online. This monitoring mechanism, entire month of February, each and every day we will be taking a very clear hands-on picture. Nidhi ma'am is there, GM. She has already intimated to all of you, but today, otherwise tomorrow, she'll again share the details with you, and we want it to be very strictly adhered to so that there is no room for even a single message outside what we want it to be. Are we clear on that point? So when I'm saying this, then I use the word happy place to work. I'm sure each one of us have joined the organization, are continuing in the organization, want the organization always to be a place for us as an individual and for all our colleagues collectively to be a happy place to work. Can I take that as a given? We want our organization to be a happy place to work. So that brings me to a point of expectation. Expectation word when I'm using is in terms of what I expect from my seniors. What I expect my seniors to guide me, mentor me, protect me if I commit a mistake, counsel me, correct me, yes or no? If my senior does all that to me, I as a junior would always be happy to be in that organization, and I as a junior would always be excited to come every day to the organization, to the office. Yes or no? Agreed? Expectation. Now, just turn it to the other way around. As a senior, so as a junior, you have certain expectations. As a senior, the leaders that you are, zonal heads, circle heads, providing the same concept of hygiene factors, protection, margdarshan for your juniors. Happy place to work. And when I'm using the word happy place to work, I'm again looking at this photograph. Whether you are a junior or you are a senior, which place would be a happy place to work? Fairness, transparency, equity, compliance, ratings, a par. Which is a happy place to work? Outstanding inspection irregularities. Which is a happy place to work? Should I let the outstanding inspection irregularities forget about them? Should I not look at the ratings of the company that I am thinking of financing or are my existing customers? Which is a happy place to work? Cyber security, which is a happy place to work? The point is, if CISO tells you all unauthorized software should be removed from the systems, which is a happy place to work? Is CISO helping you in developing a picture on the right or picture on the left? What is in your interest? Which is a happy place to work? So should you accept the CISO's advice and implement the CISO's advice? Yes or no? And that brings me to another point when I'm saying this. Whatever I'm talking here and I'm using the word organization applies to us also. As individuals, health, wellness. तो जब आप रेटिंग्स की बात करते हैं ना, हमारे आशुतोष जी सर्कुलर निकालते हैं, बताते हैं मेथोडोलॉजीज को, मॉडल्स को. आप जब अपना वो एनुअल चेकअप कराते होगे ना, मेडिकल चेकअप, क्या पर्पस है? सेम पर्पस है या डिफरेंट पर्पस है? टेल मी. ब्लड शुगर कितना आया, पल्स कितना आया, क्या पर्पस है? यही पर्पस है ना. सो अगर मुझे अपना एनुअल चेकअप कराने में ठीक लगता है कि वो आवश्यक है, तो जब आशुतोष जी बोलते हैं रेटिंग शुड ऑलवेज अप टू डेट, कोई दिक्कत? कोई दिक्कत होनी चाहिए? जब हमारे संजीवन जी बोलते हैं यू शुड मॉनिटर द स्टाफ अकाउंट्स, ये जो दो फ्रॉड्स हुए ना, अगर हमारे सर्किल हेड्स ने, अगर हमारे जोनल हेड्स ने अकाउंट्स में मॉनिटर किए होते उन स्टाफ के, तो ये फ्रॉड काफी पहले क्वेश्चन रेज हो गया होता कि इसके अकाउंट में इतना पैसा कैसे रूट हो रहा है। Are you getting my point? So when you are monitoring the staff account, when inspection advises you to monitor the staff account, is it not part of your business? कोई दिक्कत? क्या दिक्कत? फेयरनेस, ट्रांसपेरेंसी, इक्विटी, हैप्पी प्लेस टू वर्क। अगर 1,05,000 में कोई ब्लैक शीप है, क्या हम ये कह सकते हैं कि 1,05,000 प्लस इंप्लॉइज में कोई भी ब्लैक शीप नहीं है? क्या हम सर्टेनिटी के साथ कह सकते हैं हैप्पी प्लेस टू वर्क? आशा कर सकते हैं, उम्मीद कर सकते हैं, आइडियलिज्म की बात कर सकते हैं। हम तो प्रैक्टिकल बैंकर्स हैं। बोल सकते हो 1,05,000 में कोई भी ब्लैक शीप नहीं है? बोल सकते हो? नहीं बोल सकते। तो मॉनिटर द अकाउंट्स। व्हाई द अकाउंट्स वर नॉट मॉनिटर्ड? एंड व्हेन यू आर डूइंग दैट मॉनिटरिंग, मैंने जो एक शब्द बोला, फेयर टू द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, फेयर टू द स्टाफ। If there is a black sheep, and these are all methodologies to filter out the black sheep, we are all working cohesively, collectively in ensuring that right side of the picture is maintained. Good for all of us? Happy place to work? हमारे सीआरएमडी ने देखिए बड़ी एनालिसिस करी कि लास्ट डे में इंटरेस्ट लगता है ट्रेडिशनली हमारे बैंक में, लास्ट डे ऑफ द मंथ में, तो वो सडनली अब 31 जनवरी को ब्याज लगा तो सेम डे तो कभी रिपेमेंट आता नहीं है, तो वो SMA 0 एकदम से शूट अप हो जाता है। तो जब हम एसेट क्वालिटी की बात करते हैं और अपनी बैलेंस शीट की बात करते हैं ना, क्वार्टर एंड में, ईयर एंड में, तो लास्ट डे ऑफ द मंथ जो होती है फिगर, वो सडनली SMA 0 शूट अप होने से हमारे एसेट क्वालिटी के परसेंटेजेस बड़े ही एडवर्स हो जाते हैं। तो हमारे सीआरएमडी ने बड़ी रिसर्च के बाद ये निकाला कि एटलीस्ट जो हमारे रिटेल अकाउंट्स हैं उनकी जो EMI है उसको हम मंथली के हिसाब से चालू करते हैं। इंटरेस्ट एप्लीकेशन विल नॉट बी ऑन द लास्ट डे ऑफ द मंथ। अगर मान लीजिए किसी को 5 जुलाई को लोन दिया है तो 5 अगस्त, 5 सितंबर, 5 अक्टूबर, 5th of every month the interest application would be in their account and the demand will also be on that account, so that the branch 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, whatever is able to recover, but at the month end that account is not showing any degradation, SMA 0, any degradation in the asset quality. Simple phenomena, simple part, simple part. Any confusion in this whatever I have said? सिंपल है ना? तो जब लागू किया गया 7 नवंबर 2022, अभी दिसंबर, जनवरी, फरवरी 3 महीने में लागू हो गया है, बट आई एम फाइंडिंग माय CRMD इज स्ट्रगलिंग टू गेट इट इंप्लीमेंटेड इन दी फील्ड. My leaders have not understood, zonal heads, circle heads, or will it not benefit the bank? if we are cohesively, collectively implementing the innovations, ideas of our colleagues from head office. Happy place to work. Why should my CRMD struggle to get something implemented which is obviously going to help the organization in achieving better figures? Compliance. Compliance to HO directions. Any issues in that? Tell me. Any issues in that? Should not be any issues, no? Should not be any issues. I can assume like that. So if there should not be any issues, आप देखिए each and every one of you and all my circle heads and ensure at least from today it is implemented 100%. कल जो हो गया, आज से तो 100% implement होना चाहिए. आज जो लोन हुए हैं उनकी जो डेटा एंट्री होगी वो मंथली वर्सरी के हिसाब से EMI बनेगी, इंटरेस्ट एप्लीकेशन होगा और EMI रिकवर होगी. और EMI रिकवरी के लिए जो एक साल से एक और हमारा CRMD फॉलो कर रहा है, आप नेच मैंडेट डालो, ऑपरेटिव अकाउंट को डालो, स्टैंडिंग इंस्ट्रक्शन को डालो. व्हाई वी शुड टेक 1 year टू गेट दीज थिंग्स डन? विच फोटोग्राफ इज बेटर? अगर आप नेच मैंडेट डाल दे रहे हो, अगर आप ऑपरेटिव अकाउंट डाल दे रहे हो, automatically the system is picking up and all my accounts are regular standard. SMA 0, 0. Is it good for the bank? Which side of the picture is better? Or do we want to struggle for recovery even though there is balance in the account? Account becomes NPA, but there is enough balance in the saving fund. Money comes and goes out, we are not bothered in NPA. Which is a better situation for the bank? And why should your colleagues in CRMD struggle to get it implemented? Compliance. If you want to be known as a compliant bank, if you want to have a culture of compliance in the bank, each and every point becomes a very important action point for all of us. कितना टाइम और है मेरे पास? But otherwise half an hour हो गया? अच्छा चलिए, then I'll stop. I'll stop with one point. That's why I was asking. So you all agree with me on this point that the right side of the photograph is a better and a happier place to work. Agree करते हैं? Agree करते हैं ना? कोई शक? No शक. और जो right side है photograph की, that shows a healthier organization, stronger organization. सब agree करते हैं ना? और हमारी ड्रीम भी वही होगी. इसके हट के कोई ड्रीम है? क्या ड्रीम है कि लेफ्ट साइड ऑफ दी पिक्चर होनी चाहिए? नहीं है ना? है किसी की ड्रीम? So you should be moving from left to right, not right to left. That is the basic point which I am repeating every time. Happy place to work. And that brings me to a very simple point. Stress. Management of stress. Happy place to work. And a healthy organization. So when I was talking of you go for your annual medical checkup, etc., Essentially, it throws certain parameters which helps you to decide whether you are healthy or not healthy. Similarly, so many parameters within the organization helps us to decide what needs improvements. चलिए अब एक छोटी सी एक्सरसाइज करते हैं. अपना मोबाइल निकाल लीजिए. We'll do a small exercise and test check. और उसमें टाइमर लगा लेना या स्टॉप वॉच लगा लो 1 मिनट का. ठीक है? And we'll do a small exercise. Happy place to work. Being healthy, physically, mentally is also a very important requirement for happy place to work. Compliant organization. Agree करेंगे? चलिए. So क्या करेंगे? 1 मिनट खुल के हंसेंगे. खुल के हंसेंगे. Let us see how good, how loud you can laugh. ठीक है? सिंपल. ठीक है? सिंपल नो. इंस्ट्रक्शन में कोई शक? कोई शक है? शक बोलिए भाई. अच्छा नहीं, थम्स अप है. चलिए, गुड. सो आई एम स्टार्टिंग द टाइम. यू कैन ऑल्सो स्टार्ट योर टाइम. One minute. कितने लोग हंस रहे हैं? सब लोग हंस रहे हैं. पेट में दर्द हो रहा है. Happy place to work. And part of a test that we are healthy. It is in our power to remain healthy. It is in our power to ensure that my organization remains healthy. And my organization, what we expect from our seniors, as seniors, we provide fair, transparent, compliant culture to our juniors so that it remains a happy place to work. My best wishes. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai PNB.